Another really cool object we can add to the scene is rocks. And this is located underneath our plant editor. And what we can do is just go ahead and click on this button and it'll create a rock. And if we click on it again, it'll create another one. And the more we click on it, we'll get different types of rocks and different variations. So every single time you click on it, you will get a different rock, different variations, different surfaces, and we can load in all of these different rocks into our scene. And now, depending on how, of course, you add these rocks to the scene depends on what surfaces. Currently, right now, all of these rocks are of the same surface. But if we were working with an ecosystem adding rocks, what would happen is it would ask us if we want to use all the same surface or if we want to actually have color variations. And of course, we can edit these afterwards. I'm just going to zoom out a little here and take a look at our rock scene. And we can change all of these rocks together if we wanted to, so they have different surfaces, or we can select them all and of course change their surface so they're all the same. So there's also another thing we can do and go up to our Show Material Summary, which is going to show all of our different rocks. And we could swap them out this way as well. So if we know which of our scenes and which of our objects in the scene have what surfaces, we can go ahead and just load them in from here, and then even go ahead and drag them onto each of our objects from this editor. So if I wanted the default surface back on one of these rocks, I can go ahead and drag it onto two of them and click off. And now we have these two default rocks right here. Of course, you can't really see it very well in the preview because our sun is very low in the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. And let's take a look at our preview render. And even in the preview, we can see the coloration differences. Then we have our default rocks, and then of course our other ones that we have added with the original surface. And what we can also do is use the replace object to actually keep objects in the same point but replace them with something else. So let's say I want a different rock right here, but I want to keep this rock in the exact same spot. I can right mouse click and go to replace by, and I can either fit the object to fit if I've stretched it all, or I can keep proportions. And I'm just going to go ahead and select rock. And what that actually did was just went ahead and switched it to a different rock. And you can do that with any of them. So let's go ahead and select rock 3, right mouse click, and go to replace by, we're going to keep proportions and select rock. And now this works with any of our objects, and we can go ahead and replace any of our objects with any other one. So I could even turn this rock right here, keep proportions, into a cone. So this works with any of the objects, but if you are working with rocks, it works especially well because this way you can keep sort of the same shape that you want or the same size, but still get a different type of rock if you're looking for a different variation.